Hello, everybody. Today is May 21st, 2022. We have a Q&A session here. I will try to answer some questions from people which got collected by Kevin. Thank you for that. And uh, but before I come to this, I want you to let you know that whatever we discuss here might not represent necessarily the SRC for you opinion or stance on some of the issues discussed here. So it's our opinion, it's my opinion, and not the one from SRC for you per se. So the other part is I will try to make no mistakes this time with certain words so I can post it on YouTube. We have to be so careful now with censorship. And so I would appreciate as well if you don't use certain words like starting with V and so on, so that we can post it on YouTube as well. All right, let's get to it. Let me share my screen. And here we go. And I want to pull in the list of questions, which I will try to go through. And we go from there and see how I can explain all those questions. So question number one, what does the Wonder Click button do? Well, this is a very complicated story. Um, it does so many things that it would take me probably the whole day to explain what the process is and how it works. But the easiest form I can use to explain it to all of you is that what we are doing is checking out imbalances within the body. Uh, the reactions or the results of it of what is happening with the wonder click are represented in the tree of life, which follows the theme, and they are guided by the theme. So if you don't know exactly what the problem is, and you choose to leave the theme box blank and allow the SRC to scan for imbalances, that that's exactly what it will do. If you want to give it guidance and you add some themes into the theme box, then it will take them in consideration first. If they are right or if they are wrong, it will consider those items. And this goes automatically into the next point, actually, no, into point number 3, the theme levels. So when the Wonder Click starts, the whole premium is based on the tree of life. When you see the reactions, let me put up a sample, makes it easier. So when I just select myself and then click the Wonder Click, nothing else. You see, I get all those theme added, and then let me shorten this. And then when I expand the theme box, I get all this stuff here below. That's what actually is the reaction of the premium to what's in the theme box. Okay. So that means it gives me the answers in here more than it does in uh, the colored themes on the top. So uh, to use uh, the empty theme box, it gives me hints. So these hints are then broken down into what is below. Okay, so it's very very complex. Uh, Over time, we had uh, different approaches. We had so many of them that we within the premium there are still parts left over from how we started in 2010. They are still in use. uh, they are all integrated into where we are today in one way or the other. Their function might have changed because we got smarter as well. What we found out in the last one, when we did find this out, to give you more information in the C box, enhanced it quite drastically. So we didn't know that before. Before you only had theme box selection, added some stuff by hand, and we had no idea that the more was in the theme box, the stronger the premium got in what it does. All right. So it's just a process over time. The Wonder Click itself, its function is to bring up really the tree of life. That's what it is focused on. Okay, so and there are hundreds of lines in the tree of life to read. Um, so it's not very easy to explain today what we are doing. It's um, uh, it's absolutely actually uh, a nightmare, for me to go through the code and find the right entries for changing a little bit of the code because it's sitting either here or there, because over time, this whole um, uh, premium operators got really, really big. And if you look into your file folder where you see, let me open that, and it would be on my computer right here. Let's go down P4 menu. Into the menu, you can as well see some files which have the extension .dll. And one of them is pretty large, and that's not the MCC. Let me sort it by type. It is, Yeah, that's for the um, master edition. Oh, I might have included it within the executable. There, we had there for the longest time a DLL inside, which contains all the old code which we used in the Premium 1, Premium 2. So it's still present. It still gets called on to. So nothing really uh, got changed in the way the premium works. What got changed is us being smarter and giving you more of information, and with that, ramping up the energy values for the premium. Bad explanation, but if I would go into details, I think I could fill 3, 4 hours. So you can ask me questions later on if this was too confusing and I try to get this a little bit easier explained, or maybe in a different form and fashion. So let's wait till I go through the other questions and then we open the floor for Q&A. Where's the update premium video that explains the meaning of the colors in the percentage labels? So this is the video which we are making today. Um, uh, let's do this again. I just hit the one, I click one more time. And so when you see different colors, okay, expand this. Hup, not that one. I want the other one. When you read the colors, the rating is based on percentage. So when it comes to a certain percentage level, and I think it's 85, then it gets into the red. Red means that it has the strongest possibility that it will help. So the yellow color is intermediate. The green color means there's not a lot to worry on the light green, and there's pretty much nothing to worry about on the green. But how does the premium work? It ever did work. It worked in peeling the layers away. So the uh, the peeler is a good example, but what it does, it goes through the individual energy fields which surround you, your aura, and gets through that and finds the imbalances from one side to the other side. For to get down to the part which is really in bad shape, you have to remove certain points before you really can get to a lower level. That's indicated by the colors. So the indication means, okay, we start from the outside, we drill in further and even further till we hit the red spot, and then we work on this and get rid of this last. But before you get there, you need to eliminate the imbalances which hinder you to get there. And I think this makes a little bit of sense for all of you. I hope it does. So that's what the colors mean. And uh, why are there, that's another question which we have in here, 1 through 7, why are there different levels? because sometimes you have to drill in really deep and on two sides. So let's say it's your negative side, okay, in one level, and on the other side is the positive side. To really balance them out, you have to take some stuff away from the left side and add some stuff to the right side. And I think this makes a lot of sense. So sometimes it is a 3D environment which we are living in. You have to think about that it might come from above and the side, that's two layers, and it comes from the negative side, then it comes from below and goes maybe this way, sideways. That would be two more levels. So it's going into the direction where the field needs to be adjusted, and that can come from any direction. The reason why there are seven is because uh, um, drilling further down in one session, let me say, yeah, it might be possible to get further in, but I don't see me myself a lot of seven layers. I don't know how it is with you, but I think the lowest quantity of levels I'm getting is seven. The highest I get is one, two, three. So you can check on that yourself, and you will probably confirm this with me in the same fashion and statement. So this should actually help answering this question, okay? The representation of this is orientation. It's the orientation you really drill in. You could, and I did this before, say as well, whatever you think the representation is right. So we got a statement, well, could this represent the seven chakras, and so on and so on. So it's your interpretation. The benefit of working with the premium, it captures you, it captures your energy, and it's using your energy to achieve what you want. All right? So keep this in mind. This is the main thing in my eyes, to make you more and more aware that the energies work in a totally different way. To give you an idea, the computer is limited to a speed of a tenth of a thousandth of a second. That's the fastest it can work. Okay. Now, the more processor cores you have, that means you can theoretically, quote unquote, say, I have in mine, I have 6 cores, so it works 6 times in as fast. So we could have divided by 6 again. But if you think about the energies themselves and the quantum theory, they don't have time. They have my headset turned off again. Can you hear me? Raise your hand.
You're on.
Yes. Okay. Um, so the uh, quantum theory says there is no time and there's no distance. So if there's no time, that means it happens faster than a computer can reproduce it. Keep this in mind. Okay, so whatever you think, whatever you do, before you hit the start button or whatever, this will be as well included into the evaluation and then performance of the uh, premium. That's why we have the optimize button to give you the chance to really focus on the task at hand. So I hope I explained this halfway well. The next question which came in, what's the difference between a protocol and a cocktail? A cocktail is a gathering of energies. So it's really what it means. You add a little bit of here, a little bit of there, and a little bit more here, and so on and so on, and make a big glass or even a huge barrel full of energies and add it to it. That's what a cocktail is. A protocol is how you want it to process. So a protocol means I have a step system which I can create on my own and say, do this first, do this second, do this third, or give it guidance. Okay, look this up, use this in there, and evaluate part number 3. If it is needed, add it to it. That's a protocol. A protocol is given guidance to the way the premium functions. All right. So it's not that it is a gathering of energies like the cocktail. It's a guidance to what to do with the energies in the barrel. All right. I hope this is easy to understand. Uh, this was a toughie for me because I couldn't really uh, understand the question. I might need Kevin's help on that later on, but how do you compare percentage of improvement from start to session finish? Well, I have a story there where uh, I run a person for about a week. But before I started her, I asked her to write down a list of issues she had. And so I had the list in front of me with every time I run her where she already had forgotten what the list was. So she came back to me and said, well, I don't feel anything. Nothing changed. And I said, okay, let's go through your list. Here's your list. These had been the issues which you stated to me at the very beginning. Let's go through them. You rated them and you set priorities to them. So let's go through that list. Is this still true? No, I don't even remember I put it in there. Aha. Is this one still true? Yeah, a bit, but not at a 9 level. Is this still true? And so on. I went through the whole list with her till she had to admit that she got quite a benefit out of the premium at the very end. That's how you rate the percentage of improvement. Write it down, go back to the customer, or write it down for you, go back to it and evaluate this. That's why you have the session notes. The session notes are easy accessible. You just click it, type in a name, and then you add it to your list. And there you can type in your list of issues you are working on and what you rate them. Then you have a way to compare them later, after a week, after 2 days. And this is the way you should really get control over the percentage of improvements. Kevin, did I explain this correct for the customer which got this question to you?
I'll ask. I think they were looking for a before and after for a single session, but that's something that you see in the mastery, but you don't see in the premium.
Well, it works the same fashion. So my explanation to them is to write the list up and then re-rate it. Okay,
Okay.
and if they are honest, then they will find some improvement in what's going on. So the next question is as well a complicated one. Where is a selectable filter to sort, find options, output according to containing options? So we allowed whole cocktails to be evaluated. If we would take this feature away, then I could do it. But with a possibility of millions of answers, which you can get when you add cocktails in there and check it out, that is impossible. Or at least I'm not smart enough to do it. So uh, again, I stop this. I go to the find options, and here it says load a cocktail. So let's take a long one. Okay, let's take this one. Maybe not. That's
Maybe an
pitch.
SSTT.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I don't think I have them here on the computer. Uh, no, I don't have them in here, but let me take this one. I don't know if it has pictures in it. Here it comes. Okay. And no, that only has 19,000, but um, let me load another one. Let me open this one and search. Yeah, here we go. So you see, we are already over 1 million. Yeah, it is going word by word, more or less, and going through every energy involved in this whole cocktail. Here we go, 5 million. There's no way for me to do a search function, even, and I tried it by the way, even if I would be able to do this, it would probably take 10 minutes to sort them out, maybe even longer. So there are certain restrictions to our today's technology. That's why when you hit the button add result, you don't get the results displayed. Okay, and it's going down through it, and even with that, it takes quite a bit to go through, and then to put it into the theme box, into the option box. And so let me expand the option box. Yeah, it's below here. It's below. I think that's even. You can see how many there are. And for me to sort all those options, just to put them in the option box took a while. To sort them then and to highlight them would take probably 10 times the time, maybe even more than that. So if I take the uh, uh, find option and remove the load cocktail button, or even the load G option button, that might make it possible. So the longer the text is to evaluate, the more problems I will have in showing you the right result. But if it would be 100 or 200 or 500 different options in there, that wouldn't be an issue. But millions, that's an issue. I will continue researching on this to see if there is a way I could do it outside the premium and then bring it back and see if this speeds the process up. But I don't want you to sit there and wait for 10 minutes uh, to get the result displayed. So I hope this answers that question. The next one is how to use the new Dowsing Tool button. I got this question actually frequently myself from people, and I had a little talk to Grandmaster David, or with Grandmaster David, and the main aspect was to explain again, we have positive and negative, okay? So let's use the word imbalance. Imbalance, yeah, what is it? Negative or positive? Do you guys have a clue? What is it? No, I don't have it either. So I give it the word neutral, and it comes up red. So in my case, it's a negative point. It's a negative point, all right? So I check it. And it's 50-50, it's right in between. So do I really should work on that? No. If it is 50-50, that means I'm in balance. Does this make sense? B, you had a question? You need to unmute yourself.
Hold down the space bar.
Lower left
I got it.
corner.
I got it.
Okay,
I got it.
all right.
So up until this, I wasn't quite sure what I was doing with the dowsing tool, but I'm not sure I have neutral on my thing. Would that be possible, Kevin?
Yes, we'll have to make sure we update you.
Okay. Because
All
I looked for neutral after I listened to something yesterday that when you were talking about it on another video, and I couldn't find it. So I guess I need to do that.
All right, we will take care of that B for you. Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
So after a long discussion, and I tell you, it was a long discussion with Grandmaster David. Uh, uh, we wanted to make sure that people do understand there are certain questions which you cannot answer. That's where the word neutral comes in. You get the idea right away. I type in negative imbalance, okay, and say neutral, and it comes up as a negative. See what I'm talking about? So now, depending on how you in your statement, your energies are, you might get conflicting results, but you never get an answer which is not driven by your uh, mindset. Let's call it this way. All right. So the word neutral is really critical. So, for instance, chi. Yeah, I had the caps lock on. So chi, wow, again, we have a positive and a negative energy within us. So I have no clue. So I'm talking at the moment about negative chi. That's what came up for me. I should check the status and see where I am. I'm way over limit, so lower the item. So that's how the neutral comes in and helps you. When it's on the positive side, this will be black. I think black or green. And it says then maximum instead of minimum. So you see the answer right away when you ask the question. So I hope this was helpful. How we got to this is I made a test program, and when the Grandmaster has more time, we will work it out and put it in the tabs here above, which is then a dowsing session. And that's where it is critical to have the neutral aspect involved. And that's how we got to it, to add it to the dowsing tool. And I made it easier to handle. You can now select it directly in click of a button instead of having to pull it down from a list. So I hope this answers that question. Okay, and now we have the last one here. All right. Oh, man. Glossary. All right. So if you really go uh, through the, um, yeah, it's not really fully displayed in the Tree of Life, but we have in the Tree of Life, we have colors, we have these things, we have uh, gallbladder 7. Well, that's easy to look up. Uh, uh, well, sweat glands. There should be a lot of colors coming up as well. Yeah, they do. They come up here. These are the individual vertebrae. Let's go.
Where are they?
You should see them in there somewhere. Well, uh, to make a long story short, two people uh, explaining, I just take this one, to you what this really means. Takes about 5 minutes per entry in here. So if we go through the whole list and have uh, 20 or two, I think it is close to 1,000 of entries in here, which we would have to explain. What do you think how long it would take us to write a book about it and how many pages the book would have? So
A lot.
a lot, yes. And even when Cassie Blair still was with us, she tried to work on a concept. I made her a database where people could look up individual things. She gave up after 10 days because she realized that researching some of the items herself, even with the help of Grandmaster David, uh, to have a unified explanation uh, took sometimes hours to do the research just to write a sentence, which is maybe 60 words long. So it would have taken us years and years and years to just come up with a glossary. There are words and energies in there which you don't see. They should be in the glossary, like the whole black book of treatments in the uh, Chinese herbal medicine. The whole book is included. So now we have to add to a book another book. Then you come to the solfeggio energies. You come to the um, uh, what is it called again? The rife energies. And then you come to what's the other machine we have? Uh, well, there is so much which would have to go into a glossary that probably 100 people could not write this in a single year. So if you have very specific questions to certain things, that's what I do. I take here this word, internal wind in the pericardium. Open a web browser. I have one bracket here I want to remove.
What is this?
I'm searching on the internet for the internal wind in the pericardium. Here's one answer. Let's go to that one. So there's a full PDF, you know, just going through this should be in the glossary. You understand what I'm talking about? It should refer to certain pieces. Yeah. B, I couldn't hear your question.
I was just saying that's one item and that's all that. There is no way you could do the whole dang place.
That's correct. And even for you guys, you know, it would be impossible to get all the answers. So Grandmaster David knows some of it, but not all of it. It's impossible for a single human being to know all these answers, you know, by heart. And if he would just make a video about the different conditions, well, then there would arrive more questions out of the conditions. So what I'm talking about uh, condition is internal wind, damp, external. That's a condition. Uh, Energetically based. Okay, so these are all conditions. Excess mineral is a condition. Okay, so just to answer what they mean, it's probably a 10-hour video. Just to make a long story short. So I'm sorry, but um, there are two left of us. That's Grandmaster David and I. And we have our hands full, left and right. We are creating that new website, which comes out hopefully soon. I will announce it, make a video with you together about it. We have new projects coming up, which we really want to get out to do like a new version, but very much simpler, even simpler than the basic, the SRC4U basic, to be able to be used by everyone. It's like a one-on-one, like the life coach, and but it takes care of the issue you are talking about. Stress is what we are all about. To really fight the stress, to get it out of us, you need to have two things, okay? You have to have the understanding of what stress is, and the second is that you need to accept the balance in life. I could actually add one more to it, and that's 90% of the stress we are going through is that still too many people live in the past. They still haven't accepted that the past cannot be changed. It is the present we are living in, and it is the present which will make or create our future. So that's why even though if you're in absolutely perfect health, I would run the premium just to make sure that it stays that way. I have nothing else uh, uh, better than that little story from the ancient times. A doctor was chosen to keep people healthy. If they didn't succeed, they fired the doctor and went to another one to keep them healthy. Think these lines. Don't think that when you are sick and you're going to a doctor, he will be able to fix you right away. There is no freaking way. So it's only you, your energy, your balance within your energy, and how you uh, uh, believe your future will be, which will change that and makes you well again. That's that simple. So in my case, I mentioned before, uh, bad teeth, and well, we still haven't found a way to regrow teeth, Grandmaster David and I, so I will have to live with that. So, long story short, I think I stopped the share for a while, and so everybody who wants to add another question, just go on and ask your questions now, please.
I wanted to say something about that Qigong, the definitions. For the most part, I think if you kind of understand a little bit about Chinese medicine, the book you always recommend, Ashita Kim's book, that gives a lot of information just in general basics about, the different meridians. And I get a lot of my information from that, and that's all I need, because understanding that just takes me to the next place I need to go. And as you're saying about writing all these manuals and books, I mean, if you look at the P4 and everything that's in there, what you're doing right now is in real time. It's in the current moment. That's going to change. So you're spending all this time in your mind researching all these different aspects for what? Because the next time you run the program, it's going to be something else, unless maybe there's something chronic. But like you said, there's a little bit of, kind of peeling the layer in the onion to getting down to the real core. So it's, like when I see wind, it's like, okay, wind. We got a lot of wind. Let's just go and give a wind correction. Let's go and do the balance. So I just wanted to say that, in terms of manuals and all that, I think, just like I said, just understanding a little bit of the basics is so is profound, and taking you further. I know for me it was.
I thank you for that, and just keep in mind, you get distracted,
Right.
usually after 5 seconds. That's the average of a person having the um, the focus on a subject. So if you walk out of your house, you drive to the store, all this already influences your energetic field. Then you walk through the shopping mall, you get the energies from all those foods which are around. And I have to be honest, 90% of them are not good for you. So it even includes the vitamin aisle. I mean, I can detect way more than the normal person on negative energies, but or negative to me. Okay, so I stay away from them. So there is on a daily basis so much new crap, and I call it crap, coming into us, that a steady maintenance has to be kept up, and not that I want to know. I don't care what the results are which come up. I just run it anyhow because it's it never will harm me. It only can help me. So uh, it makes so much sense, okay, to keep balanced.
So what you're saying then, you should use balance more than anything else, right?
Use balance, the word I don't understand. So what do you want to say with that?
Well, I mean, like, for example, if I go into something like uh, I'm thinking of the Pro Tools, for example,
Right.
and a certain thing comes up, and then I question myself, should I use balance or should I use, which one should I use? There might be 4 or 5 different things. So would
Well,
it be better to use balance?
yeah, okay. So for instance, the aura scanner is a good example. The uh, uh, what is it called? Firewood and
Which one?
water. Uh, in the Pro Tools.
Elemental scanner.
Right. It's all more or less automated. Okay. It goes, finds it, removes the stuff, puts it back in line, puts it back in place. Okay. The display, which you see, is fake. Okay. You have to be honest. Because we are going through thousands, sometimes 100,000s of different layers and of different uh, aura fields at the same time.
So there are,
Grandmaster David and I, we want to automate all those. So we want to give you the option to just click the auto button.
all right. So I mean, like, okay, let's say for example, I use the recharger. Okay.
Right.
Now, when I go into the recharger, um, I always have a question in my mind on the 4 or 5 different things you got to choose from, and I have a question now. Which would be better? Which would be better? Be balanced or which one would it be? And I go round and round with this. So a lot of times, what I'll do is I'll just pick up my pendulum and do my dowsing with my pendulum and ask the question, and it'll usually come up and give me an answer which one to use. But
Right.
but then but then I just wonder about that because sometimes it can be kind of I'll be sitting there and thinking, come on guys, let's go. Which
The,
one is it?
the
You know?
question is actually in the recharger. Let me share my screen again.
Yeah.
The answer for the question is in the recharger itself.
Okay. So when it comes up to the recharger, and
Look,
yeah,
look how they are.
there I see recharge. Oh, there's 4 of them right there.
Right.
Oh, would it
So
be okay if you just use your balance?
no, you recharge, you regenerate, you balance, and you
Exactly.
clear.
Exactly.
And that's the process, and that's a process for the recharger. You should run them one after the other.
Right. But a lot of times, I'll go in there and I'll say, well, which would be better? And then that's when the question comes up.
No,
But you were talking about
there
balance.
there is no question. You start with a recharge,
Okay.
always. You regenerate after the recharge, always. You balance after regenerate, and then you clear the leftovers. Okay?
Oh, okay. So you do them all.
You do them all. This is the
Oh,
process.
okay. Okay. I didn't know that.
And there is already an automation for it. uh, which we tested for a while. And when we get into the Pro Tools, I will ask Grandmaster David if I can unhide it to you guys.
Okay,
Okay.
okay. All right, Ralph,
And
I'm
it
sorry.
does exactly that automatically. Okay.
Okay, I understand that now.
All right.
Didn't know that before.
I like
So
that better. Yeah, I didn't know that either.
yeah, it's right in front of your eyes. Start with one, go to the next one, go to the third one, into
Wow,
the fourth one.
wow.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So that answers that
You
question.
use all four of them. Okay, good. That's what you
Right.
want.
So let's see. There was the other one I wanted to talk to about. Well, anyhow, it's not necessary if we don't want to go through it.
I didn't mean
So,
to get you in there at all.
so questions like these. Okay, you're all subscribers of the Telegram channels.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, no, I haven't done it yet.
Okay.
Telegram channel. SRC, right?
Yeah, yeah. So we have the chat channel, which is Q&A, and that's where these should come up. Or you want to send them to me directly, which I actually would prefer. Then I can gather them together again, or to Kevin, either or, and we can make another show out of this, which would be probably more beneficial to all of us. Okay, so just as a reminder, I have my old email address back, and let me see where the chat went. I don't see it at the moment.
What do you mean your old one?
Which I had for 8 years before Microsoft uh,
Took it away
threw
from
me
you.
out of it. Yeah,
I remember the one with the bug.
right. So I put it in the chat so that you can copy it.
Okay.
And it's debug at src, the number for all.com.
Oh, for all. Okay.
Okay.
Can you say it one more time?
Debug, DEBUG,
And
at src4all.com. So src number 4 all.com.
okay.
And I will
Okay,
answer the questions.
now I understand what you're saying.
All right. So uh, now I made a mistake and put it in the video, but if I get
I put it in the chat.
There
yeah,
it is. I see it now.
I
Oh.
forgot to press the enter button myself. So so uh uh um if I get questions or emails from people outside of our community, I might have to block them, but that's not a big deal. So anyhow, so I appreciate all the questions because that's what I'm here for. I'm here for to help you to use our software better, okay, to make you succeed for your own life and as well for the life of other people you work on. You know, you can actually maybe even use a video like this to explain to one of your customers, you know, what we are doing and what we are all about and how the principles work. So I want to make another video about the relation to what we are doing uh, to the quantum theory, just to make a point that, and it will be probably a short video, just explaining how quantum theory and the energies which surround us work in tandem. Remember, we are all part of that huge field, which is the energies of the universes. And I'm not talking a single one, there are multiples. So it's way beyond our comprehension. So that's why we trust the divine and the guidance for it. And that is the key. You have to, you don't have to, because even non-believers will get the benefit of our software and how we can handle it. So I think I stopped the recording and then we give it a little more time. So that's what it was for today. Uh, and I hope I see you on the next video show.